computer. Okay. Yay. All right. I part of this is going to be pretty interactive. So I would love to know if you guys want to use your reaction or if you want to, say something, but I'm curious who uses either the Pink Perks or Monica Gabot's 50% off deal sheet. Okay. I see quite a few. So I'm curious, does it add new products to what your customers are purchasing consistently? It's like they're trying something new and they're buying it. I'm seeing comments of yes. I'm seeing shaking of hands. TK says, well, sometimes they're just grabbing a great deal on something they already use or a gift for somebody. But generally speaking, it's adding new. So it's building your product. We're building customers deep and wide. I did that backwards, deep and wide. Um, okay. But it's more almost by coincidence, right? Like we don't know what's going to be on those sheets. So we don't know what they're possibly going to be trying and ordering new. Um, so that would be, I'd say maybe the only negative to it. I love our Pink Perks program. I have gotten so many. I should have pulled reports to be able to say this is my growth in building that customer base deep from that. But what I'm going to share, and I shared with you guys in our Voxer group, text message if you're one of the Believe Unit girls, or in Facebook groups. There's three, and I'll put them on the screen. I actually made some adjustments, but we've got our sample tracker, our next level customer care. We started with this last year, and the layering sheet. The layering sheet, we're actually changing some things up. And I knew I was going to change things up with it, but I also knew I was going to talk about it. So I wanted to share. So I'm going to share my screen. And get it on the right one. Okay. So I want to tell you guys a story about um, a customer of mine. So these are, this isn't necessarily my customers. This is so that you guys can see. Can everybody see that really well? Okay, perfect. I seen Anna shake her head. So we're good. Um, I have a customer who called me the other day, and actually I should back up. She has used eyeshadows, foundation, mascara, and oil-free eye makeup remover for 15 years, basically. And 4 years ago, she called and ordered some foundation, a couple eyeshadows, and said, I'm retiring. So you're not going to see as many orders from me. But I promise it's not because I'm using Mary Kay from somebody else. It's because since I'm retiring, I'm not going to be using, doing my face up as much. So the other day she messaged me and said, okay, I need another foundation. Um, but I also want a simple 1 or 2 step skincare. Um, skincare. Actually, I'm going to stop sharing for a second because I'd love to see reactions. What would your guys' face look like if they said, give me a 1 or 2 step skincare um, thing? I'm 70 this year, and so I'm seeing my wrinkles, and I want the wrinkles to be gone with 1 or 2 steps. Okay, I see some reactions. Yes. So I sat here on my desk and I was like, okay, which one and how could I do this? And voila, I said, okay, it's going to be 3 bottles, but it's going to be 2 steps in the morning, 2 steps at night. I offered her the repair cleanser, the repair daytime, and the repair nighttime. And then I sent the photo you guys have seen of the backs of my hands. And I said, this is my hands, 60 days, because I started using that product on my face when we very first came out with it and didn't have a before and after. So I did it on the backs of my hands. And I said the back of my hand then, of course, would have the lifting serum. And I didn't really add the eye cream to it, but you definitely would want the eye cream. And she said, okay, I want those 3 products now. And in the fall, I'm going to add the lifting serum and the eye cream. So this is a customer who went from, just a handful of orders in the last 5 years since she retired to I want the repair skincare, and we're going to break it up into 2. So that being said is part of how we're going to track and not discounting, oh, she's just a color person. because it will come. I've also shared with you guys before. I had a family friend who watched me for 20 years before she reached out and said, "Hey, can I try that repair set that you are using?" I had asked her to try products before and it was a no, no thanks, no thanks. And then it was a almost $300 sale and a new skincare customer. So sometimes it's just the layering, sometimes it's the that building the know, like, and trust factor. You know, they and some of these people have known, like, and trusted me their whole lives, but they just weren't ready. So it's the don't give up that I've heard many of you guys talk about. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen and sharing why this could be super helpful for your business. I know that we have so many tracking sheets that sometimes it really gets overwhelming, but I love this tracking sheet and it is in Canva. You could be able to edit it if you want. Based off the first one, you guys might have already noticed that I have edited it and I've made these lines twice as big. There used to be 45 people on this, and now there's only 20, and I've got to move. There we go. I have to move us so I can see down here. So now you can see there's actually 22 where there used to be 45 lines. So it's much more legible and not such a strain on the eyes. There is a lot of these, but the reason for it is we have our cleanser, and they're probably going to buy at least two in a year. Then there's a moisturizer. So if we're using the Miracle Set, and maybe they're just cleanser moisturizer, that's the basic. They're going to be doing these ones. But if they're on the repair, as you see here, it says lifting serum if on repair set. Because then we have the daytime defender if they're on the Miracle Set, or the repair day cream, the nighttime recovery, or the repair night cream, eye cream. And some of these they're not going to ever be on, and that's okay. But this lets us see at a glance, what can I add them to? What can I have them try out? The Barrier Restore Hydrogel Eye Patches, Microdermabrasion, Oil-Free Eye Makeup Remover, Micellar Water, Satin Lips. I don't know if you guys want me to go across all of these. Sometimes that's hard with that. There we go. Move that over
Hey,
there.
Mary.
Yeah.
I would put the date in there, the month and the year.
Instead of a check mark,
Yeah,
putting
and that you could use that as a follow-up. I put the date on the bottom of, excuse me, one of my facial repair cream
uh-huh.
to see how long it would last. It actually lasted 4 months. I was surprised. I thought maybe it'd only last three. But anyway, every 3 to 4 months, you could be contacting them, then going, "Hey, looks like you're about out. Do you want to purchase a refill?"
I love that. So I'm actually gonna do that right here. So we could say 726. And I could move this up and make it smaller. Obviously, you guys can print it out and put it on there, but instead of a check mark, we just go ahead and we move this over here and I can see 726. And I can make it smaller, obviously I could even spin it around. Maybe that's better than making it smaller. And I personally don't intend to use the computer so much to enter this. But this was easier than me trying to hold up a piece of paper and share it with you guys on the screen. So thank you, Karen. I love the idea of putting the date in there so that I can at a glance be able to see, should she be ready for more? And some of these, like I said, some won't use them. I have a customer and I didn't get to fill them all out, but I do have some customers who they can't use anything around their eyes. So eyeshadows will never happen for my customer Luann. Love Luann dearly. She loves all of our other products, but because of a condition, she can't put anything around her eyes. And so that's okay. She won't have anything in there and I'm going to know that. But at a glance, generally, I'm going to be able to see what else could I have this person try out. And what I have done is moved it from there, and I didn't finish filling this out. But for instance, my friend Leanne, she was on the skincare, and then I gave her a sample of the microdermabrasion. And so I could put microdermabrasion right here. And sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I abbreviate it, micro MDA for microdermabrasion. And I could say, let's say that I actually sent this, oops. Let's say I sent it today. So the reason it says expiration and follow-up is if you chose to give them a gift card, then there would be an expiration date on that. I generally do not actually send a whole bunch of gift cards. Our products sell themselves when our customers get to sample them. They're either going to love it or not. And if they love it, but they're like, I don't really have it in my budget, then I'm going to talk to them about, hosting a party, getting me in front of more of their friends, sharing me with their friends. But you could use the expiration if you were going to give a coupon or something. And then the big thing is follow up. Did I follow up with her? What did she think about the microdermabrasion? And what I love about this tracking sheet is there are 22 um, lines on this next level customer care that you can fill out. And there are 22 lines on the sample tracker. So you could very easily, number 21 is going to be the same as number 21 on the other sheet. And you can be looking at your customers here and saying, what could I have her try out? I could have, and some of them we don't necessarily have demos for, but maybe some we do. Or maybe you can get together with her. She's going to try out that Barrier Restore. She's going to love that hydrogel eye patches and add them. She actually did I can hit the duplicate just to share. Actually, I really like this that Karen said, so I'm going to use that. I can bring that over and know that she got her microdermabrasion in July. Does anybody have any questions on how this works? Okay, these two are my favorite two sheets to use. Anna, did you have something to add?
I kind of did.
Okay.
Number one wanted to kind of link the dots. I know you probably already explained it, but ladies, this is one way to expand your business with existing customers, or as you add new customers, if they're on one thing, to think about how do I start selling more. So Mary's just taking you through what can we do to build more business within the customer base or as we add new customers? I also wanted to add this, Mary, because Marissa reminded me. Ladies, you guys all got an email, and you all, when you log into Mary Kay In Touch, there's a new agreement that you need to sign by August 6th, I believe is the deadline. So you want to do it right away. Otherwise, you'll have limited access to do anything. So you'll want to read through the agreement and be sure to get that done. There. That's all I wanted to say, Mary.
Yes, thank you. So Trisha just said yes, building deeper. And Anna even mentioned while you're building wider. So when we first introduced this sheet or these sheets in the spring, it was like, okay, you could use this for, for your leads. You totally can. You can have one of these that you are filling out for your leads and which is a new customer when you meet with her and what she's adding, if you just had a facial, you could put her down there and mark the things. I love Karen's idea about marking it with the date of what she bought. And then you could know from that, you're able to go, what do I want to get her a sample of to let her try something more? And that's where that sample tracker sheet comes in. I love that there is the option of that it's just helping us grow deeper and wider. And I don't want anybody to be overwhelmed. So I know that sometimes we get overwhelmed. There's so many tracking sheets. Okay. But what I have found over the years is we really focus on our each month doing, say, 30 faces. So we've got that tracking sheet. Did I complete that? Well, I completed it, but what did I do with all those customers? We don't want to lose them. It takes a lot more effort to get another new customer than to keep the current customers. And so this is designed to help you make sure you don't have to look at this every single day, but when you are checking in with your customers, you're able to see, what is she on? What might she be running out of? What should I add in a sample? You guys know when you're doing the CDS samples, the CDS orders, you can add 2 free samples. And so this time of year, I'm doing a whole bunch of charcoal mask, because not only is it great for your face, it's amazing for bug bites, bee stings. I got into the chiggers last night when we were trying to save a cat. And so my feet were covered in charcoal mask last night. That stuff is amazing. Anna.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you ladies, one of the things that we know from, I think all of us have experienced, even if you've been in for a long time, is fortune is in the follow-up. I think Peggy has talked about that. Mary's talked about that. Cynthia's amazing with customer care. And one of the reasons that we lose people is we forget to follow up with them. So this tracker, thank you, Dorothy, for the thumbs up. This tracker really helps you to kind of keep track of, okay, when did I talk to her last time? Oh my gosh. Especially with the dates. She really probably needs another boob job set, right? And if you didn't call her, what if she was a new person and she doesn't have your number and she really wanted it, but she can't find your number? But when you follow up and you call, I can't tell you how many times people have said, oh my gosh, I was looking for your number and I needed this and I needed that. Are you still doing Mary Kay? Ugh, that's a terrible, terrible thing to hear. Are you still doing Mary Kay? That's because I hadn't called her in a long time. All right, I'll turn it back to you, Mary.
Anna, I'm going to go right off of you. I love how God works like this, because I bet that people could tell me whether you were my customer before you were on my team, or whether you were somebody else's customer before you were on their team, that when somebody called, when I would make phone calls, sometimes I would feel like I was bothering them. Oh, I'm just calling for a sale. Well, I'm not. When somebody runs out of their mascara, they've got to, Karen, yes, I'll go over that in just 1 second.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to let Anna share that part, but
yeah,
definitely the checking up. And sometimes my customers, we have to train our customers. And that's nothing wrong with that. I would contact my customer and she's like, oh my gosh, I have been out for 2 weeks. And I'm like, why didn't you get in touch with me? Like cut and call. And she goes, well, because it was like 11 o'clock at night. So personally, I'm like, hey, guess what? My notifications are on silent at night. I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Text me, send me a message. When I get to my phone, I'll see it. So I'm cautious on when I send text messages to my customers, but I have always told them, I do not care what time of day or night it is. Text me and let me know. Cut and call, or, call me before you're going to cut it or whatever, because that is a huge thing. Is if not, they're going to run out and they're going to have to just stop at Walmart or stop at Macy's or stop at Ulta. We don't want our customers stopping there, because we have the #1 product in the world in the direct sales market 4 years in a row. Like, it's amazing. And we have #1 customer service. We just have to make sure that we are checking in. And sometimes life gets busy. Sometimes it's our own personal busy schedules. And sometimes it's the, oh shoot, it's too early to call here. Even if you don't use something like Project Broadcast, I think all of our phones can schedule a text message. So I was queen of scheduling text messages before
Apple cannot.
I thought the update, I don't have to ask Colby, because I thought the update allowed him to do that.
Oh, you know what? Could you let me know if you find that out? But they used to say, put your phone on airplane mode and then set up all the text. That never worked with my Apple, but
you can schedule a text with Apple.
Ooh, oh, Laura, you got to totally tell me how. Somebody's going to have to teach me.
Who just said that? Because Laura said she switched to Apple and can't.
Laura said.
This is Kim. Yeah, I've scheduled it. I have to go back and do it frequently, but yes, it's available to use.
Yeah, Kim, thank you. Then you need to
that was an update that used to be I'm not going to Apple because I use my scheduling of my messages all the time. Okay.
Mhm.
I just love my Android. But everybody else in our family uses an Apple. So Karen, yes, we did say boob job set. This isn't necessarily part of the training, but Anna, you want to explain really quickly the
Yes.
skincare and how you describe
Okay.
them as bras?
So yes. So is it Karen that was asking?
Yes.
Okay, so Karen, I'm going to encourage you to be on our skincare class on Tuesday evening. And the reason is you'll get a better explanation. But skincare typically performs like a bra. So it lifts, plumps, and smooths on the outside of our skin. But the difference with our repair set is that it works underneath because of the Voluform. It works from the inside out, restructures the skin, and it actually fills in where we're losing volume. So long ago, when the skincare set came out, I did an event and my customer yelled out, she's like, "This isn't a bra, this is a boob job." And I think Tracy was there. It was at the IMAX. And I'm like, "Girl, that's really good. I'm going to steal that." So forever and ago, that's like 2014. We've been calling it boob job set. So my whole entire customer base and all of my team members, and pretty much all of Cynthia's team members too, we call it boob job because it works from the inside out, almost like surgery. There you go.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you. So, okay, back to our tracking. We have monthly tracking sheets, and tracking sheets can get overwhelming. Okay, you can be like, oh my gosh, I have so many to-do lists. But if you can utilize them to help you work smarter, not harder. And so I do love the idea that these you could even print on front and back if you wanted. Um, but I love that we can be able to track. I have all my customers in my computer system and it's fantastic, but I don't have a good system that is, there are probably ones available. I just don't use them. Okay. So if you've got one and it works great electronically to alert you, that's fantastic. But I'm loving this because I can physically see, I can take it with me when we go to the doctor's office. We got to go to the hospital Thursday for some and arthrogram, angiogram, something. I don't know. The last one that was similar to this, we thought it was going to be an hour and it was 6 hours sitting in there. So I can physically take these little things. And when I'm in the waiting room, I can be looking across my screen and I'll go back to that screen share so you guys can see and we can chat a little bit more about it. But I'll be able to physically look across. Now, this one that it's on at this moment, this is the one that I was saying, okay, I'm changing it up a little bit from what it was. This is not going away. Okay, I'm gonna try that over there. All right. So these were all filled in before. And friends, we're consultants just like you, and we are always looking to improve things. So I loved this, but I always knew it was overly busy. So this is what we have right now. And I'm going to adjust this and then I will get it to you where all these things will be moved over. And I'm going to actually have a blank area over here where you can, for notes basically, because we took out all these extras. But this lets me see all my customers that are on here, they love the product, right? Okay. Have I given them sample packs? Some of them I have. Now I'm going to take Karen's idea and instead of using check marks, I'm going to put the date. They're going to have a check mark probably when they love the product because that's never going to change. But I'm totally going to use that date for when I gave them a sample pack. And the sample pack, maybe we should take it totally off because we have a sample tracker so we know. But I like that at some point I have given them samples. So I'd love feedback, what you guys think of this. But this lets me know, has she been a hostess? And I'm going to take Karen's advice and put a date in there because if she was a hostess 3 years ago, I want her to be a hostess again. Maybe I want her to be a hostess every quarter. She can earn brand new products. Has she given me referrals? Has she been on a guest event? Guys, we have guest events twice a week, plus we have all kinds of other stuff. The career link. This isn't like here, sign up. And so I'm not sure what the new name, and maybe you guys want to help us give your opinion of what it should be called, and I can share it with you. I've shared with my unit before, and I'm working with Anna and Cynthia to get theirs. It will be basically identical, but I'll have their own videos and your information will go right to them. But this is a link you can share with your customer where they watch a video, they enter their information, and they ask you 5 simple questions, anything about the opportunity, 5 questions. And then that gets emailed to your director. Hang on, Anna. I'm going to come back to you in just a second. I'm actually going to come back to this in a minute. Facebook group. If you have your own, that's fantastic. But we have that VIP Pink Beauty Lounge. Please invite your friends in. We really want to grow it so we can have live people popping in and doing live things weekly that is able to grow and blossom. And then a bold ask, would you like to be on our team? I'm going to stop my screen share because I couldn't hardly see Anna, your hand there when you had something. So what were you thinking?
You were asking about a better name, and I just remember listening to the one of the calls that I've listened to, an entrepreneurial opportunity, because that's one of the things that we learned from the booking thing that I did last week was using the correct words to attract people that are, corporate people that actually could move really, really forward. So I wanted to say that. And then Mary, are you going to go over the sheet of the different tracks that they can win on today? The Power 300 and
the July. We can go over that. That wasn't part of it, but yes, we'll end with that. And we are going to end a few minutes early because we all have videos after this, Zooms to get on. TK, you had a question though?
Yes. I'm a little confused on the tracker with how often do you do it on a regular basis that you transfer it over to a new sheet like once a month, so that you can see the progress that you're doing? Or
I wouldn't ever transfer it onto another sheet because if I share my screen again real quick with that next level customer care, the center one, hang on as it pops up. Can you guys?
Not yet.
TK, it's really a way to see what you're doing with a particular customer so that you know the next step to take them to, not a time frame. Does that make sense?
Right.
So if somebody's on skincare, oh, well, it looks like I've never tried the foundation on her. So this would be the next thing that I could call her about.
It really allows you to see, again, next level customer care. It takes so much more time and money to get new customers than it does to keep our current customers. And the big thing is keeping them. Like my friend Charlotte, I have kept her as a customer for 15 years just using foundation, eyeshadow, eye makeup remover. Not that I didn't ask, but she had no desire, and I knew that. Okay,
until recently, right?
But this allowed me to see. So every now and again, I could ask her, hey, would you like to try this? Or when I'm sending something, I'm sending a little packet in there of something to try.
And I was just going to say that women are buying more than what we're selling them. They often don't know that we have it and they've never tried it. So this is where it gives you an opportunity to gain more of a market share of what they're already buying, but then they might as well buy it from you, which makes you more valuable in the future, because if they're getting 6 or 7 things from you, my husband's here, he has his manager, she buys everything from me. I mean, it's probably $300 to $400 a month that she spends with me. So,
wow.
Well,
congratulations.
And at that, okay, I'm going to finish sharing my screen real fast, and then I'm going to come back and say something about that. So TK, this isn't meant like once a month I need to rewrite all this. This is, this sheet has 22 spots. So you can have 22 of your customers. And if you have 44 customers, you're going to fill out all of this. I took this idea from there's been many directors, but Tandy Fisher is the latest one who uses this, and she calls it 45 to Thrive. And this actually had 45 lines on it. And to me, those lines were so tiny that I couldn't see it. That's why I cut it in half and we have 22 on here. But her reason of 45 and Thrive is that when you are building your customer base deep, like Anna just talked about, you're building it deep and they are using all of these different products. When you have 45 customers, you are basically Queen's Court of Sales. So if you guys can get excited about that, or Princess Court of Sales, that's the mentality and thought process ultimately behind it. But for me, my first thing is next level customer care. What is my customer potentially using that she's not ever tried the Mary Kay? And like Anna said, she's got a customer who is physically using even more that's on here, because these lines across here are not everything. There are other trackers out there. There are so many different trackers, you can get extremely overwhelmed. But I would challenge you guys personally to go through the catalog. And if you actually look at the back few pages, you can actually see absolutely every item we have. Find out, are you personally using them? If you're not using them, you're probably not going to sell many of them. Like Anna, all of our body care is Mary Kay. All of our skincare is Mary Kay. And there are tips and tricks and hacks that we use for lots of different stuff. I don't use extra emollient night cream on my face. I got way too oily a face. I know Laura does use it on her face. I have another customer who does use it on her face. But there is so many, there's so many, but I do know that the extra emollient night cream isn't good for my face, but it's amazing for under bandages. If I'm wearing a cheap pair of earrings, I could dip them in. It is the best diaper rash medicine. It's finding that out. Anna.
I think you need to go over this track to run on so that they know why they need to start working right now if they haven't.
Yes, that was actually, I'm behind the scenes. I'm actually pulling it up. So
Awesome.
What I challenge you guys to do though, is I challenge you to make sure you're using all of the products, because if you're not using them, then you can't get excited about them. And these sheets are there to help you be able to share more of what, to confirm that your customers have at least tried it. And they might not like it, and that's okay. And it might not be for them. That's okay. But make sure that they have that ability and know, like Anna said, they know that we actually make it. So I'm going to switch gears from this. If you guys have questions on the tracking sheets, and I am that layering sheet, I am adjusting it. I knew I was going to be adjusting it, but I didn't want to not share before. I'm sharing our July promo, and our July promo sheet, we're going to have a similar outline for all year long. So this is for July. My screen needs to, okay. So July promos. This is for July, but it's actually, you're going to see something similar all year long. We're going to have a Power 300 club. And so your Power 300 club is when you reach 300 wholesale by the 15th, you're going to earn an exclusive Zoom. This month, it's with Lindsay Kramer. It is with a different national or top director or national emeritus every single month. And it's in the middle of the month. It's not at the beginning. We have so much going on at the beginning. This is in the middle of the month. You have to earn, you have to earn this call. You earn it by doing 300 before the 15th. There is, if you do 600 by the 15th, then you are into drawings where you can get Visa gift cards during that event. Us directors let them know, they draw, and you guys can win those Visa gift cards. And it's not just monthly. They have monthly giveaways. And then there are consistency ones where if you are doing 600 every single month, then they had, like I said, there was hundreds of dollars of given away last year. So, anyways, anybody have any questions on the Power 300 before I move on? Okay. So if you are close, check your numbers. If you are close, you don't want to miss it. You guys, I have shared before, I think, about how I missed Queen's Court of Sales The last year I was on the Princess Court of Sales. I missed it because I should have tracked better. And in June, when I called the company and said, how come I can't order my ring? I've done more than 40,000. Now it's 45, but this was 40,000. And they said, because you've done more than the max in June. I should have done more in May. That was my mess up. Okay. There's nothing they could do about it. There won't be anything we can do about it. If you guys hit $297 here, we have said it's 300, and we didn't create this, but it's 300 and above. If you hit $599, I can't go in and tell them you did 600 so you can be in the giveaways, because you didn't. You have to make sure that you did 600. So that's the Power 300. Now we have 4 levels all year long that we're going to have prizes for every single month. The Momentum 300 is a surprise. So we have a treasure trove of gifts. And so those will be customized and surprises if you're doing 300 as your level. Then we have the Rising Star. So I actually wore this yesterday and I was hoping to wear it today, but my laundry didn't get done. This Faith Can Move Mountains. This is the July shirt of the month. So we'll have t-shirts, tank tops, sweatshirts, long sleeve shirts. There'll be a shirt for the Rising Star Club every single month. So I don't know about you guys, but I want to have all 12. And I love that it is something fun, but it's also something practical. You earn that when you reach 600. Then we have the Princess Club. This is when you reach 938 wholesale. 938 times 12 will make you on the Princess Court, the National Princess Court of Sales. That's where we came up with these numbers. They might be odd. The prize will change each month. The Queen's Club, you're going to always win it all. And that's 1875 wholesale, because the Queen's Club, when you do that for 12 months, you are on the Queen's Court of Personal Sales, picking up a diamond ring at seminar. So that's like the year-long club. There will be different prizes in those. Anybody have any questions? Because we are right at our wrap-up time.
Way to go, Mary. Way to go, making it seem like really easy. So
it is. And there will be a consistency club of some sorts to come. We're just finalizing details. I know we had asked for some polls. So that means like, all right, maybe I'm not a star consultant because I've done that, but maybe I have consistently done 300 3 months in a row, 4 months in a row, 6 months in a row. We're finalizing those details. You guys will want to make sure July, where it's time to jump in both feet and get on track. So I'm checking. You are so welcome, Deanne. Okay, I think we're good to go, and we all have calls after this. So thank you all so very much for being a part of this morning. I love it.
bye, ladies.
Bye.